Cancer, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are actually doing the monthly readings. So looking ahead at November, what is in store for you? Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. Every single like, comment and subscribe really does help out. So thank you. I am using, today I have the Cosmic Messages Oracle, clarifying those general messages with the Rising Moon Lenormand. When we look at career and finances, I have the Money Moves Oracle deck. And to check in on love, we have the Boji blog Lenormand. Okay, so getting into it for you, Cancer. Cancer, dividing the month, start, middle, and end. What is in store for Cancer in November? Start, middle, and end of November for Cancer, please. Starting the month off, very interesting energy to start us off here. We have the newborn. Okay, a great beginning. It's like the Big Bang, right? A brand new planet is born. A brand new universe is born. Super interesting. I can't wait to clarify what that's all about for you here. A great beginning. The middle of the month, we do see discipline. Abide by the principles and act in concert to those. Okay. I'm getting directed here to tell you. I actually watched something the other day talking about the 10 Commandments versus the 12 laws of the universe, right? What did they call them? The 12 fundamental laws or something like that. I am getting the principles I'm being told here are in relation to the principles of the universe. Okay, so the laws of the universe rather than actual laws or actual things. But I'm also hearing your own morals are guiding you with your principle, like your own principles. And making sure your own principles are in line with the universal law. Okay? And then infinity at the end of the month here. To infinity and beyond, yeah? Beautiful things will endure. As long as you are disciplined about how you approach those things and how you begin those things, how you birth that energy into your world, and acting in concert with your morals and your principles when it comes to those things, they will endure. I'm hearing don't be afraid, because I am hearing here that for someone it's like you have fear that this is not going to last, is what I'm hearing. Something's not going to last, and you have fear about it not lasting. But as long as you're doing what you need to do on your end, beautiful things will endure in your life. You can have those for infinity and beyond, yeah? Okay. Clarifying these messages for Cancer. What's going on for Cancer in November? First, please clarify the newborn energy for Cancer in November. The start of November for Cancer. Please clarify this newborn energy. Great beginning. And clarifying the middle and end of November for Cancer, please. Clarifying the middle and end of November for Cancer. Discipline and infinity. Please clarify discipline and infinity. There's that fear. What exactly is this infinity energy? What exactly is that to Cancer? What exactly is that to Cancer, please? Okay. So the newborn energy, a great beginning, Cancer. We do have the clouds followed by the masculine coming through here. So the thing that both of those cards have in common is that they both, they're both very up in the head. They're both very thought space. Okay, the clouds is thoughts. The masculine energy is an energy that tries to control the emotional side of themselves and be very logical and rational. The issue with this is that the clouds energy, it does quite often link up with anxiety and depression, because when our thoughts spiral out of control and we allow our thoughts to, go and go and go and go and go, rather than just acting from our heart, or our spirit, we are stuck up here in our head, and allowing those thoughts to take control. So I feel as though this is a new beginning in the way that you're thinking about things and the way that you're allowing your own thoughts and your own anxieties to cloud your judgment and confuse the hell out of you here, Cancer. It's a new beginning in the way that you're perceiving things and looking at things, and um, allowing those thoughts to take control. I feel as though you're, especially here with what I'm looking at towards the end of the month, you stress yourself out. And that's where that anxiety is coming from. It's coming from up here. It's not coming from your heart. If you stopped and listened to your emotions and your intuition, they would be probably telling you a different story. You're kind of only seeing the negative stuff, and only thinking about the negative stuff, and you're not thinking about the potential and the hope, and the love, okay, of stuff. And it's allowing those thoughts to spiral out of control and turn into stress and fear and anxiety. Okay, so that's what's changing. It's a new beginning for you this month in the way that you're looking at things and the way that you're perceiving things through your thought process, and moving forward, thinking differently, trying to, even consciously saying to yourself, I choose to think the positive stuff. I choose to not allow those negative thoughts to, every time I'm having those negative thoughts, I'm choosing to block those, because we do see a sense of discipline here with that discipline card, abiding by the principles and acting in concert. So one of those universal principles is, like, you manifest what you think. Like attracts like, and the more that you're thinking negative, the more you're attracting the negative. So the more that you're thinking positively, the more you're attracting the positive stuff, and the more you're able to manifest the positive stuff. Okay, so abiding by that principle a little bit more here, being very disciplined to tell yourself, that's it. I'm not going to think negative about this. I'm going to think the best. I'm going to keep positive. I'm going to, keep hopeful, keep faithful that, yes, these beautiful things will endure because I want them to. Okay, you are, your reality comes from it, comes from your thoughts. It comes from you. You manifest your own reality here, Cancer, is what I'm getting. So for some of you, you may want to look up the, the universal law, rather than, because I saw something, I think it was on TikTok, where it was like the universal law versus, the theory of the 10 Commandments, right? We all think that the 10 Commandments are what you've got to abide by, but in reality, it's, well, depends whose reality, I suppose, but it's the universal laws. Okay, everything has a place in that. But then infinity, beautiful things will endure for you here, Cancer. It's all about the way that you perceive those things, and stopping yourself from stressing about those things, because we do have here, firstly we see the birds, okay, and that is followed by the mice, which straight away there's that stress. And then the moon, which is the emotional component, that the fear. That's the fear. The mice and the moon together. That's the fear that you're having, that these beautiful things won't endure. That you're telling yourself over and over again, I can't have this. This won't happen. That'll all crash and burn. It's the way that you're talking to yourself here with the birds. Okay, that you have a big fear. Your fears. You're allowing your fears to take control. And instead of your actual emotions and intuition to have their say and to move on clearly in a positive way. You need to, have a bit of a chat to yourself, I feel, with that bird's energy, and really talking to yourself about the fact that, especially to some of you holding on to things that you've lost in the past, and because you've lost certain things in the past, you're telling yourself that that is what's going to endure the loss, and that's what's going to happen all over again, is the loss, the loss. So it's kind of this discipline to talk to yourself every single day. I choose to not let the losses from the past stress me out and affect my future. Okay, because that's coming from fear here. Having a bit of a chat to yourself about that, Cancer, because the beautiful thing that we're wanting to endure here, the truth of that is, we see the ship and the ring moving towards a brand new cycle for yourself, moving towards a relationship for some of you here. So it's either a relationship or a new cycle in your life. That beautiful thing. I feel like for majority of you, it is some sort of commitment, some sort of relationship. I am picking up a little bit fear of commitment just in general with that mouse energy there, which is very understandable if you have committed in the past and then that's been lost and shattered. Of course, you do have a fear of committing again to people, to things in your life, but I do feel as though this infinity energy, this beautiful thing that can endure, is this traveling towards relationships, traveling in new directions with relationships, starting new journeys when it comes to relationships, your relationship with yourself for some of you here as well. Okay, but I feel like that's going to clarify itself a little bit more when we do get to the love portion here. But for some of you, I do feel it may be more to do with you yourself, than, and being disciplined in the way that you're choosing to think. Okay, because, if you wake up every day and you say to yourself, I'm having a shit day, this is going to be a horrible day, and then you wonder why you have a shit day, you wonder why you have a horrible day, you've been telling yourself your whole life that it's going to be crap life, it's going to be a crap life. You are actually choosing that, Cancer. So it's time to choose something different for yourself. All right, but career, job, and finances for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know about career, job, and finances for November? Career, job, and finances for Cancer in November, please. Ooh, double power here for you. Seeing a lot of power energy with your career stuff. Okay, so firstly, we do have the surprise. An unexpected turn can bring positive change. Be ready for change. Okay, I feel as though this is referring to this change that's happening within you yourself, the way that you're perceiving things. So that may actually help bring about change in the workplace, in your financial situation as well. Positive change is a surprise. The more positive that you're thinking, the more positive everything else works around you as well. You have the power, okay? You have the power to change everything, Cancer. we see the power card itself coming through here. You have the power to take control of your life, career, and finances. Focus on your needs. Don't you love that the card says what I just said intuitively? So you have the power, Cancer. And then you have the mind power as well. You can control this. Whoa. This cloud's energy where your thoughts are spiraling out of control and hurting you. You have the power over, wrong side of the card there. You have the power over your own brain as well, your own thoughts. Use your intelligence, analyze data, and use your logic and think rationally. Lead with your mind. So, that works for you with your career, your money. It's not working for you in your entirety. Okay, that's what we're sort of seeing for you here, Cancer. Save the thought power for work, for money, for the actual material stuff in your life. Trying to put your brain power to things that don't work on that level is not going to work, because relationships, love, you know, experience with people and, even just other things in your life, a lot of those things come from emotion, come from heart space. They don't come from your brain, your logic. All right. So trying to put logic on matters of the heart, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm seeing a clear division here that, when it comes to things outside of things that need that logic, that rationality, which for you here, it's work and money. That's where your logic is needed. Save it for that. Save that brain power of yours for work, for money. Putting that same spin on everything else in your life and wondering why it's not working for you, wondering why matters of the heart aren't filling your heart because you're trying to do it with your mind, not your true power. Okay, this power card here, this is true power. You have the power to take control of your life, career, and finances. Focus on your needs. So that's how you're taking control here, Cancer, is by, putting the aspects of yourself that work the best where they're working the best. So if your thoughts work really well and you're really good at thinking logically and rationally, put that where that works best. I'm not saying don't come from that because, we all need that balance of head, heart, soul, right? You can't be spiritual from your head. You can't be loving from your head. Love comes from your heart, so it's having the power to know where goes where, fitting the pieces in the right spots. Once again, that discipline coming through again, abiding by the principles and acting in concert. So the principles of the heart cannot be done with logic and rationality. Sometimes love is irrational. And that's what works for it with emotion, okay? Abide by that principle. Put love with love. Put logic with logic. All right? So it's just coming through very strongly, that message, Cancer. So sorry if I am getting a bit at you about that, but that's how strongly it's coming through for you. All right? But we'll have a look at love as well. Okay, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer in November with love? What does Cancer need to know in regard to love for November, please? That's an interesting message. Just clarify, how is that relevant to love for Cancer, please? And clarify that third card for Cancer with love. How is that relevant for Cancer, for love, please? Oh, interesting. Okay, so Cancer. I do feel as though I'm seeing a division, start of the month, end of the month, when it comes to love. Okay, so the start of the month, it's all about finding this new beginning, just in general here, okay? Because it's like practice makes perfect is what I'm getting. So to be completely honest, the first half of November does not feel love focused. It feels focused still on career, on this internal stuff for you here, okay? Because we do have the fox and then the fish coming through. And when I've clarified as how are they relevant to love, I have the tree, which tells me that it's not necessarily about love here. It's about your self growth. Okay, you needing to heal these aspects of yourself in order to focus on love again. In order to even, let love in or think about love at all, you need to focus on these aspects in order to move forward in love as well down the track. So it does feel like there's a separation here. So the start of the month, we see the fox and the fish. So focusing on your financial self, your general abundance in your life, learning what you need to learn, growing and healing yourself, maturing when it comes to the way that you're thinking about love, the way that you're taking care of yourself when it comes to financial side of things, your career, those sides of things. So setting love aside for the start of November here, acting out of self-preservation with your money. So I do feel for a lot of you, there is a side message here coming through that you really need to look out for your own survival with money this month and doing what you need to do to survive. Make sure you do have that money set aside for yourself. Be very careful with how you're spending your money during the start of November especially. It's all about being independent, but looking after yourself, okay? Especially with that tree here. We do see the need to grow, to learn, to educate yourself a little bit better about how to be wiser, how to be maybe even a little bit sneaky with yourself when it comes to putting aside the money that you need to survive rather than spending all your money on things you want. I want, putting that money aside. I need that to survive, to pay the bills, to buy food, so making sure we are very disciplined with our money at the start of November as well. All right. But then when it comes to the love side of things, we have the sun shining bright for you with love. So, I do feel as though there is some happiness in love for you in November here, especially towards the end of November. We do see that, coming to light, that happiness coming to light for you. Once again, the end of November was where we saw that beautiful things will endure, traveling towards that relationship, getting through that fear of moving forward with relationships, and actually coming out into the sun, revealing to yourself that this is what I want. I want happiness. I don't want to be constantly in this fear of love. I want happiness. All right. So choosing happiness for yourself with love, especially towards the end of November here. I do have that clarified we have the letter and the key. Okay, so I do feel a specific person connected to a lot of you here, especially when we did see that ship and ring here as well. So I do feel here that communication is key, is what I'm hearing with the letter and key. Communication is key in order to bring anything to light that needs to come to light when it comes to love and this particular connection. So it will, communication reveals the truth, reveals the want, reveals the fear. I feel like for those of you where there is a specific person that you're connecting to, communicating clearly and honestly and openly with them about your fears will help, move that energy on and move you towards love and relationships, with the key there, opening yourself up to potential success, to potential happiness here, not being afraid anymore, and actually opening yourself up to, what if this is actually successful? What if this actually does endure? What then? I feel like you've been so wrapped up in the fear that it's not going to work that you haven't even thought about what happens when, what happens if, you know, uh, happiness is what happens if, I will tell you there. Success. There is a potential success here for you, but it does depend. It does seem to depend on open, honest communication, and opening up to this person about, these fears that you have when it comes to the connection. Okay, so that's what we have for you today. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.